Feather, American publisher and author, once said, "Books open your mind, they broaden your mind, and they strengthen you like nothing else can." Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. 4 years ago, I embarked on an entrepreneurial life, and I read and devoured more books than I perceived possible. Now, my original intention for reading books was to learn more about the sales, marketing and the business world that I operate in. And previously, I had read 2 or 3 books, you know, the 2 or 3 books a year when we go on holiday, that summer holiday, and you think, oh quick, I better read those books. That was how many books I was reading previously. And then entrepreneurialism came in, and now I read a minimum of 2 to 3 books a month. And wow, has my mind expanded. Now, during my research, one of the concepts that I came across was one thing called authority marketing. Now, authority, the word authority, is pretty self-explanatory, but let me give you a little bit more context to that. In this world of plenty, where there are so many similar services and offerings, one way to stand out from the crowd is to produce authority, credibility, and celebrity status through writing your own books. Now, when I first read that, I thought, me, write my own book. Who would want to read what I have to say? And besides, I don't really think I'm that good at writing. But you know, I read a little bit further, I listened, I researched into very productive direct response marketing, and it became really clear that the people behind the organisations that were very, very successful all wrote books. They wrote e-books, they wrote information books, they wrote reference books, they wrote biographies, books, 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 more books. The seed was planted and it grew in my brain. And one day, I created an opportunity, or maybe was the opportunity presented to me. And I became a co-contributing author to this book, a reference book called Decontamination in Healthcare and Hospitals. This was published in December last year. And I am really, really proud of this achievement. And what amuses me the most is that everything that I read about authority marketing has come true. Because now me and my colleague have written a chapter of this book, and it is only a chapter of this book. But in our field, they've actually started calling us key opinion leaders. And I find that really amusing, because I've been doing this stuff for the last 25 years. But because I've written a book, or part of a book, I've created that authority and that credibility that those other organisations, people behind those organisations have done. So this inspired me. The process of writing this chapter inspired me to write and collate my own book, where I get my own contributing authors, and I've called it Getting Results. The power is all yours if you claim it. Now, the process, there is no right or wrong way of doing this. It's as simple as having an open mind to the opportunity to make it happen. So if you want to create the authority and the credibility in your world, then you may find these 10 steps a useful guide. Step 1. Very important step. Set yourself a date for completion and publication. This provides you with the focus and the motivation to keep going forward when all those little things in life come along and get in their way. It also provides you a measurability, something that you can see that you have actually achieved something. Step 2, a step that is counterintuitive for most. Write your conclusion or your chapter, your final chapter, first. Because it goes that if we set our outcome, we are programming our mind to find what it needs to find in order to achieve that outcome. So in the context of writing a book, when you write your final message that you want to convey, you are beginning to build a structure for writing the content around your book. Step 3, now we get to the content. Why don't you just write down 27 questions about the topic you're talking about, writing about, and then sit on it for a while, let them sit there. 27 questions is about right. You leave it for 24 hours, and then you come back and you sort through them, you decide which ones work for you, and you take out 5, and it leaves you with 22 questions, which leads you to step 4. Go and get somebody to interview you. That's not going to stay there now. So get somebody to interview you. And the beauty of being interviewed is you can speak 2,000 words an hour versus write only 500. From this interview, you get transcribed. Transcribe creates your copy. Now with your copy, you then go to step 6 and you edit, add, take out, put in, thank you. And from this, you're now developing all your content. Step 7, now write your biography. People need a 300 to 400 word biography, and they will know then what you are about, where you are from, and what you value. Step 8, write your introduction. What's the book all about? And thank everybody that's been involved. Step 9, you now need a fresh set of eyes, and this is where you would get a copy editor in, because you start missing things because you read and read and read. But that is the last step before you go to publish. And you don't need a big publishing house. Yes, of course, this was a big publishing house, but you can self-publish, and you can do it like a pay-as-you-go basis, get 1 copy or 10. So there you go, 10 easy, simple steps to make it your book, your authority. So the next time that you pick up a book and you read it, know that the human being behind that had no extra special writing skills to you or I. What they did is they read the book that opened their mind to the opportunity of writing a book. It broadened their mind to discover the knowledge of how to do it. And then it strengthened their character, and it created a sense of self that nothing else could do before. So maybe next time, that's going to be you.